Hello again, and hello, it's Vo. Welcome back to Turbine City. Last time we were planning to put in a canal through here. I've also got a request to put in some cable cars. We still haven't finished renaming all our streets in our districts. So we'll let these guys come in a little bit. In this zone in that we've set up at the end of the last episode. And we'll go around and do a little renaming. So these guys are pretty much in. They're still leveling up and things. Still got a bit of time before the growth rate evens out. So we'll get a few streets renamed in Highlander Heights. A few streets named after him. We seem to have lost some of our buildings along these medium roads. I'm pretty sure we did finish off the area with the Grobles. So I don't know, maybe if they've just leveled up. And perhaps the new asset isn't available because it's not in the UK style. That might be the case. I guess we can try and rezone it. If it doesn't come through with normal zoning, we could always go back in. We'll plop the Grobles and plop a few things just to fill out the space. We'll cross that bridge when we come to it. We can get a few of these streets around Walpole Square renamed after Sir Walpole. Some of these streets are quite long. They stretch up throughout the whole area, so hopefully we won't need to rename that many. This one's got a curve, so it can be crescent. There's not many roads that have adequate curves on them that you could call crescent. So we're just going to go with the standard ones like we did before. This one can be Walpole Lane. In the McDonald district we'll get a few renamed as well. Like I said last time, it's something I did with the first few builds I made, but not something I've done for a long time. Renaming individual streets. Sunset Street's quite nice. Kind of want to just leave that as it is. So a lot of our roads from Walpole Square reach all the way up here. Get this one renamed McDonald Drive. Over here I want to move this school a bit so I can upgrade this road. A road that somehow escaped getting trees on it. Can maybe make a feature out of this roundabout. Something I've seen done before, but I've never done, always fancied it. Why not while we're here? So I'm just going to drop down the train a little bit, pop in some water, a few rocks and things. Make it a nice sort of feature in the middle of the roundabout. Seem to have a random crossing. Come back and look at that afterwards. Maybe used a different type of road or something for that last section. So I'm going to drop the train down just by 4 meters. And I'm going to get our 0.01 water capacity water source. I'm going to drop it right down so the water stays in our little dimple. as full as possible, but not so full that it's gonna leak out over the edge. So I'll have a little look and see if that's the right height to set the water source at. It looks like it's gonna spill quite close to the edge. It's maybe too high. We'll bring it down slightly. And the water should recede back a little bit. We can pop in some rocks and things. Some more trees and foliage. Yeah, the water level's receding. It's a bit more manageable. Don't think there's any danger of it spilling out onto the road now. So I'll line up a few rocks, a few different sizes. I think this is the sort of largest size we want to use. Just rotate them and get them in place. This one's a bit of a slab, I'd rather use something more interesting. That's a bit better. Try and merge it in with the other rocks. Make a sort of unique rock formation. That looks pretty good. We'll go around the edge with some trees. We'll just singly place them. Get an appropriate tree size. Just kind of go around the edge. Our rocks are pretty large. We do have the procedural objects mod. I've seen that used to resize the rocks. So you can use the larger ones, but you then shrink them down so they're more manageable for a smaller space. It's more just the height, I think. Could try and go back into the terrain tools and drop it down a little bit. Make the middle of our little indentation a little deeper. Rocks down a little bit. Don't often use the vegetation. It makes sense it would be more overgrown here, around the base of the trees and things, on the edge of the water. Don't think our parkies are going to be able to get to this bit to do much maintenance. This looking good with a few different foliage things. I think I've got a few off the warehouse in the time, but the in-game ones are fine enough really. I'm going to move the rocks a little bit. I can't just lower them and lower the terrain with them like I can do with the roads. Drop this down a little bit, just more in the middle. That'll lower the rocks a little bit. And do a touch of smoothing. Make sure it's a little bit more of an even gradient. I think that looks a little bit better, a little bit more natural. That's how you make a lovely feature roundabout. I'm seeing the truck stopping, and there's a traffic light down here. I'll get that turned off. See if we can spy any other ones roundabout. Get them all removed. Got a complaint over here. Someone's wanting changed for an office. Anyone who complains is getting turfed out. Can like it or lump it. I'm gonna pop in this asset. Downloaded or subscribed to a custom skate park for Dean Boy. So on Dean Boy Street, we've got this lovely skate park. I know you'll approve of this. The standard skate park has animations that you see people in it skating and stuff. Kind of hoping this has the same. I've let it run for a bit, but no one's going in the skate park. There's no skating going on. This looks like Spider-Man. Let's pause this and see if this is the web slinger. And there's another one. 2 Spider-Men. Let's see if they get them closer to each other. Use the first person camera. Yeah, definitely Spider-Man. But what about the other one? Definitely Spider-Man as well. This is like that meme where there's the 2 Spider-Men, they're pointing at each other. So I thought we'd only get one Spider-Man in the city, and he'd be named the Amazing Spider-Man, but I think it's just like a skin that many of the citizens will have. Oh well, that solved that. At least we've found him. So yeah, it's a shame this doesn't really come with the animations, and there's no one using it. It's a lovely asset. But oh well, it's the thought that counts. Got these awesome mascot guys doing cartwheels. I think they must be the mascots for the Dean Boy Institute sports team. They must be the Eagles. These mascots are definitely cartwheeling eagles. That's pretty cool, I've never seen that before. So now's the time. I'm gonna get in the canal. I've tried this once already, but the game crashed on me. That's fine. Taught me what to do. So I'm gonna delete these roads, so we can then make bridges over the canal. First time round I tried putting in the canal first, and then tried building bridges over it, but every bridge wanted to put a pillar in the middle of the canal, so it didn't like it, which is a bit of a disaster. So I figured out the way to do it is to build the bridges first. So we're going to come up by 1 unit on both sides, and then make the bridge to connect across the middle. And then we're going to go in and remove all the pillars, the central pillars in the middle of the bridges. So we're going to try and make sure the bridges kind of line up. So all these central pillars will be in the same sort of location. Then we can use move it to grab the pillars themselves rather than the nodes. So we can remove them. Then it'll be easy for us to place our canal right through the middle. So we're going to use move it and grab the actual pillar itself, then use the bulldoze button. And that'll delete the pillar entirely. They're not really required structurally for the bridges. We'll be fine without them. But now we've got the space that we can run the canal right through the middle. I'm going to take it as far back to the edge as possible, so it's in the shallowest position. That'll ensure the water gets through fine. It doesn't have to struggle up the riverside, up the bank. Going to even out this terrain again, so we have a nice flat surface for our canal. I don't want it trying to go up or downhill. That'll help make this look a bit more realistic as well. Have a sharp edge to the terrain on one side of our castle. So we'll take this all the way to the edge. Then when we unlock the next square, we can continue it on. Try and repair what we deleted with some little roads. Looks like it doesn't want to line up perfectly. Can always use move it afterwards. But rather than small bridges trying to go over again, we'll make these little squares just along the side of the canal. That should line up where we put in our ferry stops. The road that comes automatically attached to the ferry stop should be sort of in line with these ones. So when it comes to popping in the stops, we should be able to connect the roads fairly easily. I think the pillar is getting in the way here again. So we'll just move this pillar rather than removing it entirely. Just move it back a little bit. And that'll give us the room for the road. We can run it under the bridge. It's not perfectly aligned, so we'll use move it. Just try and get it a little bit more aligned. A little bit closer to the edge of our canal. That looks pretty good. Pretty straight. We can try and upgrade this road. We have to move these assets. I'd rather have a medium road going along parallel to the water. We can take it further along, connect it across into the next square when it comes to it. Fits nice there, the Sydney Opera House. But we'll move it back down here when we've finished messing about with the road. Yeah, Sports Monkey wanted me to put in a cable car. I kind of wanted to put one in anyway. But yeah, I wanted to save the more complicated things, like putting in the canal and the cable car. I was sort of putting it off, along with the shuffling of the Industries DLC stuff. Sort of putting those tasks off. But no, he's asked for it, so by all means, we'll try and set it up. I want to move our ocean thermal energy plant, just so there's more clearance for our shipyard to be spitting out ships. I'm going to use move it to line it up, just so it's perfectly on the roadside. And our medium road dips down a little bit. Be the less steep of a road. If we delete this one, we can maybe connect it further along. Medium road is more in line with this level, this terrain height. There we go, it's a sort of flat road rather than a steep short road. It's much better. So I'll get this aligned, maybe in the middle of the road. I'll make sure it's sort of perfect on this side. Yeah, it's pretty good. There we go. Sorted. So now we've got that medium road that'll run right along the edge of where we can have beach areas and things. Let's smooth this out a little bit. Yeah, shaping up. We're getting there. So I can move the Opera House back over. We can get the cable car on the go. Maybe have it sort of where it was before. Maybe further along, where we've got this new junction, where we've moved our power station. That's maybe the place to put in the cable car. In the end stop. We'll move the beach resort over the other side. Hopefully we're going to have enough room. We're going to have our end stop for a cable car. And then run it up the hill. Don't know if we'll have to go... Probably have to go over the train track. Don't think there's enough room to go underneath it. So we'll smooth this out a little bit more. Just again so it's less obvious that the assets are having that much of an effect on the train. Make it seem a little bit more natural. A little bit of smoothing. Yeah, we could drop the level of the train underneath the train track, but it's probably easier to go over the top with our cable car. So get our end stop in, just sort of opposite this junction. It should be fine. And we'll get another one up on top of the hill, near our castle somewhere. Maybe have it on the side here in the middle. And then we'll try and connect up the line. I think we'll have to come up. Hopefully that can get us over the train track. We just need to try and bring it down, connect it up with our end stop. Doesn't like it. Try deleting this last little bit, coming from the other side. Doesn't like that either for some reason. Very strange. Likes it now. Very strange. Oh well, we've got it in. Our fantastic cable car ride. Just gonna come up this hill to our fantastic castle. Gonna create another little hill over here. Got the terrain height from the castle's height, so it'll be the same height. And then we can get a bridge for the road to connect across. We might need the anarchy, the road anarchy and the fine road tools if we want to try and force a bridge over here. Guess we could try putting in roads and then raising the nodes to move it. That should raise the train with it. Should line up everything. We just need to figure out how to tell it to be a bridge. Yeah, a little bit tricky this. But we'll figure it out. Yeah, we've got that same problem. It wants to put the support in the middle of the canal and it won't let us. So delete this little bit for just now. Again, we can try and raise the nodes, but we need like 2 sections to be a bridge. And that hasn't even made any of it a bridge now. Try and raise that up. Maybe if we just run the canal through the middle, it'll destroy part of the road. And then when we try to reconnect the 2 bits of road, it'll just make a bridge over it. I think that'll probably have the same problem with the pillars. We'll move the nodes so they're the perfect distance apart, so the canal can get through the middle. This is what we want. Just like to form a bridge. Yeah, we could do this with the combination of the fine road tools and the road anarchy. We've used the large roads instead of the medium. It's supposed to be a medium road. Oh wow, yeah. Upgrading it has just magically changed it into a bridge. Magic. Well, it's created a crazy dip, but we can just raise that up. So we accidentally solved the problem. We can upgrade the roads. That's a way out of that problem. And that's me made my first successful canal. Turned out alright. We'll come back next time and pick up where we left off. Until then, take it easy. I'll see you in the next one.